So you have an idea for your blog, but you're not exactly sure how to go about creating it. With all the different options for web hosting nowadays, it's kind of hard to pick the right one. I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to be looking at domain names and web hosting for our new blog. So when you're setting up a blog on the internet, there's all different kinds of ways you can do it. You have free hosting, and then you have web hosting from other companies. Now the free web hosting that you'd get from something like WordPress.com or Blogger or Tumblr, they work to an extent, but they don't have the flexibility that you're going to want if you're going to be making money. For instance, WordPress.com really cash rates what you can do for monetization on it. I mean, it works great for a simple blog if you just want to get your name out there. But if you're looking to make money, like we're doing with this website, then yeah, we're going to definitely need specific web hosting for it. Now, personally, I use GreenGeeks web hosting, and not just because I work closely with the company. I moved all my blogs from HostGator to GreenGeeks simply because HostGator was screwing me badly on performance. In fact, one of the blog posts I had on crossingcolorado.com was at 15 seconds on HostGator. Once I moved it over to GreenGeeks, it was less than 5. So just in raw power alone, GreenGeeks was far superior to HostGator. And if you're interested in GreenGeeks web hosting, there'll be a link in the description down below. Now here's the disclaimer, it is an affiliate link, so I earn a commission on it. But whether you use GreenGeeks or not, finding web hosting is going to be of the utmost importance. So you'll definitely want to check around to see if you can find something that is more centered around what you're trying to build. Because not every web host is the same. Some of them they'll tout awesome services and then have crap for customer support. Like one of my experiences was dealing with HostGator is when I was complaining about the services going straight to crap, because they used to be like one of the best, but then the services started getting slower and slower, and then I made a comment to it, and their response to me was to pay more money for their cloud-based web hosting service that was super fast. Like, how about you just fix the server? But no matter what, you need web hosting, so. And since we're going to be trying to make money on this website and make it popular and profitable, you'll definitely want to find the best system for you. Now, what about your domain name? Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Most web hosts will give you a domain name when you sign up for their service, or you can use something like GoDaddy. Now, I have a majority of my domain names are at GoDaddy simply because I do a lot of work with other clients, and so I hold on to their domain names in that system, which is completely separated from all the website work. That way I can easily transfer stuff, and GoDaddy's customer support is great. But it adds an extra step, so now instead of just having the hosting and the domain name on the same web host provider, I have to go back and forth between GoDaddy and GreenGeeks, and I'm not going to do that this time around. This time around we're going to use nothing but GreenGeeks because, well, they're cheaper. GoDaddy wants $17.99 for .com, while GreenGeeks just wants $13.99 or $13.49 or something like that, but we'll see. But anyway, it's like you have to come up with a good domain name for your blog, and the problem is that because there are so many websites out there nowadays, finding the perfect name is kind of a chore, because the names that you want are going to be taken. Like, I remember when I created my first blog a long time ago, it took me 2 hours to come up with WriterSanctuary.com. So that took a little bit of a effort, but so just because you have a domain name in mind doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to keep that. So let's go through the process and figure it all out. So at the risk of sounding kind of salesy, this is why I'm using GreenGeeks, is that they have hosting starting at $2.95 a month, and you also at the moment get a free domain name. But since I already have web hosting through GreenGeeks and I get the unlimited account, I might as well just go ahead and add my new blog to my account now. Okay, so let's see how we can add a domain name. We're going to go to the options here on the top left. We're going to go to domains, register a domain, and here's where we're going to experiment with trying to find the perfect domain name for our blog. Now I'm using an eco-friendly blog that is catered around the practicality of going green. So, okay, so let's see, practicalgreen.com. That's probably taken. Yep, already taken. All right, let's see. Practical Green Living. Because we want to make sure that our domain name matches the context of the blog. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. It creates a disconnect, and you don't really perform that well. So, let's see. Green Living Reality. That one. Oh, look at that. It's available. Let's see. So do I want to stick with Green Living Reality? It makes sense with the blog. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to write down this one here because it's a possibility. Okay, so the way the domain works is that think of it like the address to your house. I mean, you're not going to get any mail if nobody knows where to send it, right? So if the domain name is your address, the hosting is the real estate your house is built on. So you need an address that's easy to find so that you have people that come to visit. Okay, so Green Living Reality. What if we want to do something different with the word practical in it? Green Practical Living, maybe? Okay, so Green Practical Living is available. That might be a better option. Okay, let's see if we can find one more so we can decide which one's the best. What about Practically Living Green? Well, that one's available too. So Practically Living Green. Let's see, Green Living Reality or Green Practical Living. Well, I think Practically Living Green is probably going to be the best bet for what we're trying to build. So, we're going to go ahead and keep that one. So let's go to the next step. No additional information needed for the domain. Okay, let's make the payment. That's because if you use a different registrar, you'll have to put in your information such as your address, your email address, contact information, the billing, and all that other good stuff. But GreenGeeks has it all saved, so all we gotta do is hit the go to the payment button. Okay, enter a new card. Do I have an existing? Let's do a new card. We'll do. Okay, now that we bought our domain, we just go ahead and click the return to my domains button. And now we have to wait for it to process. Now, normally it can take anywhere from 10 minutes to 48 hours, depending on the registrar. Now, this is the first time I've ever registered a domain name with GreenGeeks. Usually it takes about 10 minutes with GoDaddy, so we'll see. See how fast it takes. So after about 10 to 15 minutes, it showed up in my account. I did have to verify that through ICANN that my email address is correct, and I had to verify that GreenGeeks can use my information, which is like a consent form, but it's their way of tightening down security, which is a good thing. So now I can see that I have practicallylivinggreen.com linked to my account. But since this is an add-on domain name, I have to go into cPanel of my primary account and then add it. At which point you'd go to cPanel and add a new domain name to it. Well, once you're done in cPanel and you add the domain name, you can go back into your GreenGeeks panel, click on the option on the left, go to Security, SSL Certificates, add SSL Certificate. We're selecting my account, and it shows up on the first list. And actually, GreenGeeks will only show you domains that you don't have SSLs connected to. And since all the websites I have on this account have SSLs on them, this is the only one that shows because, well, it's brand new. So we just hit the continue button. We're going to go ahead and use Let's Encrypt because it's the free one. If we were building an e-commerce website or something more professional on a bigger business, then we'd probably use the paid Alpha SSL wildcard. But with what we're just building, we really don't need to be super secure. So the free account for the SSL should be all that you need. So we'll just go ahead and hit the Let's Encrypt. Confirm and create. And then the auto install will do its thing. All we have to do is hit the install SSL certificate and it's good to go. The whole process takes about a minute or two, and once it's done, you can see that we have it installed, and it's under Practically Living Green, and we can download the SSL if we wanted to. But we're not going to need it at the moment, so there you have it. We just set up our domain name and our web hosting. We're getting ready to set up our blog. I'm not really sure if I'm convinced about the blog name. I kind of like it, but then again, I wasn't really thrilled about WriterSanctuary either, and it kind of grew on me, so I'm hoping that practicallyliving.com will... well, practicallylivinggreen.com will have the same effect. So I guess we'll find out in about a year. If you need any help setting up your account at GreenGeeks or any other web hosting for that matter, leave it in the comments down below, or you can hit me up on social media. You can also reach out to me on the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to learn more about building a better blog in WordPress, freelance writing, textbook, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think that's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next time.